I think Solutions Utah matters because it's a community grassroots based organization that I don't know how, but we've pulled in just so many bright, intelligent people that we're able to bring key decision makers and influencers to the table that you think would have open dialogue. But I've been in many, many meetings where that meeting was the first time two key individuals from the city, from the county, from the city, from the state have sat in the same room and been able to have a conversation or talk about something. Now we are power brokers. We bring people, the critical people to the table to be able to flush out ideas, but in a forum or in an environment that it's a little bit more open.
You've been on the board for 10 years. Where has Solutions Utah made a difference? An example or just general statement?
We've made a huge difference in the realm of homelessness and how homeless services are delivered to our state. For the longest time, Salt Lake City and the providers in Salt Lake City were seen as they were the group setting the tone for the entire state, and people outside of Salt Lake County didn't feel like they had a voice, didn't feel like they could get any needles to be moved because it was Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City was critical. Salt Lake City was the only, or Salt Lake County was the only voice at the table that elected officials thought they had to listen to.
Homelessness can be very narrow in one sense, but it has a lot of impact in many, many areas of our lives. And if we don't get that fixed, then what else starts to happen? What else do we start to see?
Well, what else we start to see is like what we saw after Operation Rio Grande with the downtown shelter being closed was we were close, we were right on the cusp of making a big impactful change with the resource centers, not a shelter, but that plan didn't get seen through to fruition. So the new resource centers were just starting to be operated the same way as they were before. So then we started seeing the issues that were happening in the Rio Grande area happen around the new resource centers. We saw crime, we've seen drug use, we've seen everything that comes about that it does impact communities. And as much as the state would like to think that they're in control of the destiny of Utah, it was told to me by somebody a long time ago that how the capital city goes is how the state goes. And that's very crucial in Utah because with the Salt Lake International Airport, with people coming in, they fly into Salt Lake City and go out from there, right? We have great opportunities, outdoor activities, everything throughout the state that makes it so wonderful. But when you're coming through Salt Lake City and you have this idea of it's Salt Lake City, it's a squeaky clean, I'm safe there and everything, but when you have groups coming in that have done development projects in Washington, in Boston, in LA, and they're saying, what I'm seeing right now in Salt Lake City, I have not seen in any other major metropolitan area. What's happening is the lack of enforcement of our basic laws. It's allowing these huge encampments, allowing just basically creating a secondary class of citizen, or not secondary class of citizen, but a protected class that if you're homeless or if you look like you're homeless, rules and laws don't apply to you. And with that happening, right, when you're walking down the streets of downtown Salt Lake and you have somebody sitting on a curb or sitting by a bus stop with a needle hanging out of their arm, and here are groups coming in from out of state that's like, Utah's this great place, it's a great place to do business, it's a great place to raise a family, But then you see that's something that people can't get over, and it does impact where the city's going.
How are we making a difference? An example in your 10 years, can you think of one thing, or two things, or three things, or some particular project you're proud of?
So one of the things I'm very proud of is we've started moving the needle on accountability when it comes to critical and key issues. And we're seeing that with this most recent legislative session where funding is not like the state wants to fund projects and fund issues that they can see make a difference, not just we can outspend, right? The way to solve this issue is to outspend it. So that's one thing I'm very proud of.